Welcome to Crazed Performance Repair Demolition Edition. I got you guys on my good camera now, so you guys will be able to see things a little bit better. I don't know where my stand is for the camera, but it's around here somewhere. So I'll get you on that in a moment, once I find it. For now though, I just wanted to show you guys what I'm up to, why I'm doing it, and we're going to go ahead and make a small series of shop improvements and things that you can do if you need to, if this is the kind of stuff you need to do to your shop. For example, in this particular scenario, preparing for a hoist. The concrete on this floor, well, let's just say it's a little crumbly. Check this out. It's not very strong. It's kind of missing a very critical item called rebar or wire mesh. We are missing that material in all of this concrete, so it's very weak, very brittle. Not only that, let's see if I can find one here. We have, no, not that one. Go ahead and pick up a few here, and once I find it, I'll show you. Oh, here's one. There we go, perfect. Whoever did this concrete work did a horrible job of mixing the concrete. Right here, see that? That is sand, raw sand, a big pocket of it, right in the middle of the concrete. So, not only did they do a horrible job mixing the concrete, reinforcing the concrete, they did a horrible job laying the concrete and preparing the framework for the concrete. This concrete is trash, absolute trash. I wouldn't even trust putting a jack stand on under it with a car in certain areas after seeing what I've seen, which means you can't trust it anywhere because you don't know what it looks like underneath. For example, over here we have, I'm going to grab this puny little pry bar. Check this out. Now, I need something underneath it, I suppose. We'll just grab one of these crumbly chunks. There we go. There's one piece. Now, we're going to go to this piece here. You'll notice something. There's a thickness difference, just by a little bit. This one's just a little thicker than this guy here. This guy is maybe, let's see here, maybe 2 inches thick. There's some as thin as an inch in here. Oh, this one's actually kind of strong compared to the rest of them. But the concrete is just absolute trash. So I'm going to go ahead and redo this. And right now I'm just kind of removing it all. Lucky for me, it's such trash because when it comes to taking this stuff out, all I'm doing is taking this big 20-pound maul here. I find a nice little spot, give it a swing. Now I have a nice huge crack. Throw a pry bar up there and pry away. Good to go. So let's go ahead, pull some concrete up. I'm going to go ahead and get this chunk here, and we'll bring you guys right back to show you kind of the floor here and how bad it really is. By the way, yes, this is black dirt. Raw black dirt. Somebody was clueless. Yep. This is my boy's little BB gun. It's like the one from Home Alone. Yeah. Took care of that wasp. It's like a weird wasp that was joined together or something with another one. I don't know what the hell was going on there. But I got it. So now I'm good. I keep that thing nearby because the wasps are around here. There's just a ton of mud wasps here. It's so dry out lately. They've been a bit aggressive. So, I'm taking them out. Alright, back to it. I'm tired. I am beat. But I got a lot done. So, here we have just a little bit of rip up and tear up here. You can clearly see I got quite far. So, that is approximately halfway, or more than halfway across the shop here. So, if you look up, you got the beam, 2 beams there, the 2 beams over there, and if we go to the center and look down, I'm a little bit past the center. So I got a lot done in a fairly reasonable time frame because this is only several hours later, and I'm doing this by hand with a simple pry bar, sledgehammer. As you could see, I was just hammering away and prying away and getting it done. But what do we need to make a solid base for a hoist? Well, we need a slab that the requirement is 3.5 to 4 inches minimum thickness. So basically any less than 3.5 you cannot do. It's also supposed to be reinforced with rebar, some kind of a metal. You can't go without reinforcement because the hoist is going to be, if it's mounted here, it's going to be pulling on it like that as a car lifts up on it. And what am I going to do? So when I do this, not only am I going to obviously get rid of this black dirt. You cannot have black dirt under concrete, and I'll give a good reason why. Right over here, this area is much, much thicker. However, it did break apart somewhat easy still, not only because it didn't have rebar, but also because of this black dirt scenario. So over on this side, the dirt has dried out a lot more. There's some mouse nests in here. There's one there. There was one right there that I pulled out. And then way over there, there was also a mouse nest. And I'm sure later down, when I go down that direction, I'll probably find more. But you see that hole right there? I just stepped there and my foot went right in like there was nothing there. And then, of course, this mouse nest here, I'm sure, is in a hole, most likely. That's what the other one was. See if we get any mice out of this. I didn't think so. I figured they were all gone. Well, it's not in much of a hole there, but let's go ahead and see how soft this is. Not sinking too bad there. I must have just stepped right in the right spot because my foot went right down in there. Trying to see if there's any other soft spots here. Nothing. Well, it's kind of spongy here. But the point is, because it's black dirt, it's fairly wet over here, at least until this side's been peeled up longer, so it's drying out. It looks like it's drying out. This side was much more wet than that side was. And that's because of the lay of the land on this property. So, we have a combination of things going on. We have the roof line going to both sides, right? However, this side here has concrete, and it's got a drop off. So all the water that comes off this roof line just goes down the concrete and into the yard. This area, however, it all slopes right towards the shop, and we have that coming down and going right on there as well. And you can see it's clearly not raised up like or dropped down like the other side was. So it all just goes right to the ground inside the shop. So that side is clearly going to be more wet. How am I going to resolve this? Well, all the way around the perimeter of the shop, I'm going to be putting actual rock. Kind of like the rock you just saw on the outside on that side of the shop there. I'm going to put a bunch of rock all along there. Then I'm going to put my Class 5 on top of that. And then, of course, my metal reinforcement. And then pour my slab. Now, am I going to just do a 4-inch slab? No. I go overkill all the time, every time I get a chance. This slab, because I plan on putting a hoist on it, is going to be a minimum of a 6-inch slab. There are going to be areas where I'm going to make it thicker than 6 inches. For example, in the corners, I'm probably going to make a little more material there in case I wanted to put a compressor there or something so it doesn't shake the floor as it runs. And I'm going to do it in that corner as well, just because compressors usually end up in corners, so I'm going to put it in the corners just for future-proofing things. But this whole area of dirt, before I do any of that, is going to drop down a lot, because I'm going to make up for the lack of height in the ceiling here. This was, with the concrete, rough measurement, about 9'3" to 9'7" from the bottom of the rafter to the top of the floor. I need it to be at least 10 feet. I want to try and get it closer to like 10.5 feet. So this floor is going to go down a long ways. I'm then going to take the door here and all the door structure and drop it down to match. I'm going to remove and change the land outside there. I do have, although you can't see it of course because of the way the lighting is, it does slope towards the garage a little bit as it is, but it also slopes this direction. So I can create a drain system in here so that I won't have to worry about water causing an issue. Right now, there is a little bit of a water issue. You probably can't see it on video, but right here, there's like a washout area where I imagine the rain, when it rains heavy, comes down here and washes out a little path right along the road. But what I'm going to do instead is I'm probably going to put like a drain tile or a culvert or something and some rock and redo this whole area so that it can actually drain into the field like it's supposed to. So I have a lot of work ahead of me, but luckily ripping up the concrete was easy peasy. So that is going to come to the end of this episode, simply because I would have liked to have more. I would have liked to did the class 5 and stuff like that. But not only did I make it go on too long with all my yakking, however, I can't do anything for a little while. My skid loader's not going to be here for a week and a half yet. So I want to get this video out. This is going to be probably posted next week so I'm filming this the day after I released my last video. So this is the day after, and I'm probably going to wait until next week to do it and kind of get back on a weekly schedule. That's my goal. I can't guarantee nothing because this vlog scenario is going to be kind of screwy, and I'm trying to do it on the good camera just for you guys to get good footage, because it seemed like you actually had good interest in this. So somebody asked about the electrical. This electrical, I mentioned to him, it's a nightmare. It needs to be redone. Show you why. Climb up on my mountain of rock and hopefully don't wreck my ankle here. So you can see we have the electrical box here, and the wires are just like dangling all crazy. I'm going to save that for last, because if I do decide to go up with this roof like I was going to until I realized the concrete scenario, if I go up at all with this roof, even if it's only a little bit, I want to leave those wires there for now. I'm just going to use what I have, because why not? There's no reason to change it until I'm actually ready to go full on in the shop. I have other more important things to do first, but I am going to change that, and I can talk a little bit about wiring. I do happen to know way more about wiring, concrete, building, construction, stuff like that than I probably logically should, because I don't do it as a career. I never had a job in it. All I did was do it to remodel a house, and here I am doing it again in another house, remodeling more things in another property. I guess this isn't the house technically, but you get the point. I did my garage at my last place. I did my house at my last place. I'm doing the garage here. I'm probably going to do some stuff in the house again at this place. It's going to be a lot less at this place, luckily. I have some plumbing that needs to get done, a little bit electrical, but it's pretty minimal at this place. This place isn't as bad as the last place. Anyway, with that, like, share, subscribe. And I hope to see you on the next episode of Crazed Performance Repairs construction site, apparently, because we don't work on cars here in the automotive shop. We work on construction. Sarcastic, of course. For those you who are new and watching because of this construction series, stay tuned for all the construction stuff, and stay tuned a little bit for the automotive stuff. You might find yourself to like the automotive stuff too, or just check out the channel in my previous videos. If you like doing this kind of crap, this kind of construction stuff, working on cars is also a similar fun kind of thing, and I think working on cars is more fun. This kind of stuff is fun to a point. I don't know. It's not my cup of tea, but I do it, and I do kind of enjoy it, even though I didn't think I would. So give cars a try too. With that, I'll see you around.